Hey guys, people have asked me what my thoughts are about what's going on with Amy Cooper and with George Floyd, and honestly, like I don't feel like I have a particular hot take um, in most of the stuff I have to say is it's sad and it can get really polarizing, and I don't want to talk about that on the Twitch stream. I want that to be the sanctuary where people can go and forget about all the bad things that are going on. Good vibes only, that's the motto that we got there. So I wanted to voice and give you guys my thoughts and my opinions separately away from that. So if we could keep all the discussion about it here in the YouTube comments, like if you have something to say, or if you have a comment about, what's going on, or, I want you guys to voice your opinions. But here, I want to keep everything here and away from the Twitch channel, so that can still be our sanctuary where we're escaping all of this stuff, and good vibes. So I guess first off, I would like to thank Amy Cooper because, her actions brought to light something that, I think not a lot of people wanted to admit was true. That there are people that know of their privilege and use it, just like that was her first thing that she was like, you're challenging me? Okay, I'm gonna call the police. I'm gonna tell them that there's an African American man threatening my life. And she said it with such confidence and certainty that she knew, the that she was gonna win. And it was so, I don't know if practiced is the right word, but like she said it, like she wasn't struggling to find words. She was like, I know exactly what I need to say. And then when she called the police, she even put on an act like she was in danger. There's an African American man threatening my life and my dog's life. And so as she's saying this is the richest part. As she was saying, there's an African American man threatening my dog's life, she is choking her dog. She's got her dog up by the collar, and you can see that he's being choked. So I mean, if that's not the most ironic thing, that she was so blinded by what her task was, what her ultimate goal was, that she wasn't even realizing that she was choking out her dog. And I'm glad, so the dog's, she doesn't have the dog anymore, and I'm so thankful for that. And I'm thankful that everything that happened to her, she had coming, like 100%. Lost her job, lost the dog, probably lost some friends over it as well. But yeah, I mean, so to Amy Cooper, thank you for, for showing people that that's a thing that happens, and that's just it being recorded. How many times does that happen and it doesn't get recorded? So thank you. So what's different with the situation with George Floyd? I mean, a lot is different. But if you look at the countless times that things like this have happened, before, where, African American men are dying in police custody or being detained, whatever the case may be, if a life gets taken. And I think what we were seeing, what the pattern was that it happens, and then the police that were involved get put on administrative leave, which is pretty much just a paid vacation. And then when the situation is blown over, then they come back to work like nothing's happened, and everybody's moved on to the next outrage. What's the next thing for us to talk about, and people just forget, and then everybody moves on. But so what was different, or at least the first thing that was different, was that the cops that were involved were fired, and that is a great start, but it can't stop there. I mean, a person died that, I mean, there was a murder. That person should not have died. George Floyd should not have died. And in this case, and in all the previous cases, there needs to be a conviction. And I think we're at least starting on the right direction. And it's sad that it's not just like, yeah, he was murdered and boom, conviction. But it's like, well, you know, we need to look at this, we need to look at that. And it's, I mean, I understand that it's a big deal, like convicting somebody of like murder or manslaughter, but it needs to happen. I mean, an example needs to be set. Because otherwise it's not going to stop. Because he was so comfortable, like he was on top of George with his knee on his neck. Just so comfortable, like, oh, well, you know what, if he dies, then I'll go on vacation for a while and I'll come back and it's no big deal. Because that's the precedent that was set time and time again before. So I'm so thankful that this time it's different. It's starting different, but it can't stop with just the firing. It has to move forward with a conviction. Otherwise, you know, because nobody else, I mean, that I can think of in the world, like I can't go out and kill somebody, and then the worst thing that happens to me is, oh, people are saying mean things about me and I lost my job. Like that's the worst. Like that can't be it. That cannot be it, you know. So yeah, nowhere else, at least in the United States, that I can think of, like that's the line, you know. And so moving past that, like there's people that are, and I want to distinctly put these people into two different categories, because there are people that are protesting and you know, and they're taken to the streets and they're demonstrating, and there's people that are rioting. And I want to distinctly put those people into two separate categories, because, you know, people are taken to the streets and they want their voices to be heard and they're demonstrating. And yes, do that, because that's like, people need to know that, you know, it's not just keyboard warriors that are saying, oh, like, I think this is wrong for a week until I think something else is wrong, and then I'm done with this. You know, I'm so glad that people are demonstrating. But why in the world would you want to like riot and loot and burn a small, like a mom and pop business, especially if that business is owned by an African American? Like, what's your message? What's your goal? Like, what are you trying to? I think that the people that are rioting and looting and doing all this stuff, I think they see an opportunity and they're taking advantage of that. I don't think that they have, at least the people that are, you know, going after these small shops because they're there and they're like, oh, well, the cops are busy dealing with these, you know, people demonstrating and marching in the street, so let me throw a brick through this window and steal from this shop, and then I'll set it on fire on my way out. Like, I think they just get the mob mentality, and then they see an opportunity and pounce on it, and they're not really a part of the demonstrators or the message, because they have no message. I would almost understand if you go after like a Walmart or a Home Depot or you know, one of those large companies that puts a portion of their profits, you know, to donating to politicians that, you know, their rhetoric does not help the situation. You know, there's good people on both sides. You know, things like that. Like there's Walmart and Home Depot are putting their profits towards getting these people put back in office. And they're not, you know, their rhetoric is, you know, when the looting starts, the shooting starts. And that's, you know, Walmart, Home Depot, and other big companies, that's they're putting money into that. They're investing in that. So if your message is, I don't agree with what you do with your profits because that is contributing to the problem, and then their stores get rioted and looted, I understand that. But a small mom and pop, no, like I don't, you know, there's no message there. There's no reason for that. That's why I think that those are just people trying to take advantage of an opportunity. And what I love seeing, so there's so many layers to what's happening. You know, there's, for the most part, what you see in the media is just one big picture of, you know, peaceful protesters and then rioters, and then the police come in, and that's just the event that happens. But, you know, if you look at YouTube, or if you look at, you know, some of these videos that I'm starting to see, you know, you see peaceful protesters are stopping people from, you know, looting and raiding in stores, and they're throwing these people to the police because the media is seeing like, oh, the demonstration broke out into a riot. Like, no, the demonstration is still there. It's other people that are coming in and rioting and doing all these things. That's taking away from the message. So they're helping the police. They're taking these people that are rioting and they're saying, take this away because this isn't the message we're trying to send. And that is just fantastic to see that. So yeah, I like, there's so many layers to the onion that you don't really see. But then when you get on like YouTube or Reddit and you start seeing some of these videos of things that are actually happening where they're getting rid of the rioters. Like people try to incite violence in the middle of a protest, and they say, no, get out of here. That is not what we want. That is not the message we're trying to send. And you are being a part of the problem, and we want you to leave. And it's great to see that. It really is. So yeah, that's I guess those are my thoughts on what's going on. Yeah, like I said, like I don't think anything that I have to say is really a hot take, but that's what it is. So please, I would like to keep the discussion going. So please leave a comment. Tell me how you guys feel. You know, if you have a question to ask, ask the question. We want to keep the conversation going and everything. So yeah, thanks for watching the video. And yeah, so I guess just please keep everything here. The Twitch stream is our sanctuary to escape from all of this stuff, and I would like to keep it that way. But yeah, make sure you guys check out the Twitch stream. And yeah, thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.